Hey everyone, welcome to this week's walk and talks back over at Tunbridge Wells, beautiful common. Weather's okay, doesn't look like it's going to rain. Don't think the sun's going to come out, but it's not too cold, nice and fresh, and actually it's a great day for a walk. Hope everyone's been well. 3 weeks ago was when I did the last one. So today, right, what I'm going to talk about today? Well, today's a bit more personal development-y. It's about mindset I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to talk about something, and I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm actually going to do it next week as well. I won't wait another 3 weeks because there's a lot I could say on this, and what prompted it, if I'm honest with you, is I'm actually talking at the Creative Circle Awards in a couple of weeks time on the Thursday. I think it's July the 10th or 11th. Not on a big stage, unfortunately, in one of those little rooms. I think I've never done it before, and I'm going to be talking to students between the ages of 18 to 25. So they're going to be people that maybe have just taken their A-levels, maybe still at uni or finishing them, and thinking about their career moves. And what I'm going to do for them, I'm going to do the whole talk around mindset and actually turning failure into success. And when I was sitting down doing that, what I'm going to talk about now is going to be part of what I'm going to talk to them about. And what that is comfort zones. Now, I'm sure most of you know what a comfort zone is. For those of you maybe who don't, basically it's very simple. In life, there's some things we're very comfortable doing, and there's a lot of things we're not. Things we don't want to take on because of, and mainly it's around mindset, whether we're fearful or whatever. And we call it a zone because we tend to stick into that little zone. And those zones, our comfort zones, we're all different. Our comfort zones are different sizes. Some are small, some are big. And that size really is determined by a few things. It's determined by your genes, how you're brought up, your parents, your experiences, life in general. So, for example, if your parents are quite safe in their life, maybe your father's had the same job for 40 years and he's done it just to get a pension and he's never really stepped outside that, and his whole life is in that, what I would call a small comfort zone, there's a good chance that you're going to be similar. Doesn't mean to say you are, but the way you're brought up like that, your experiences, means you're probably not taking on those bigger challenges. Or you could be the son of Richard Branson, an entrepreneur, whose life, maybe at the age of 12 you're jumping out of planes, and therefore your comfort zone will be big because you'll be comfortable doing a lot of those things that a lot of us aren't comfortable doing. So, question is really, I suppose, to start with, I want you to start thinking, how big is your comfort zone? And I'm going to ask you a question right at the end of this that I hope you go away and think about and maybe take on. Now, outside that comfort zone is what I call the fear zone. Those challenges and goals that you want to take on, you don't because you're fearful for whatever reason. And a lot of that time, that fear could be failure. It could be what other people think of you, or what they will think of you if you take it on in your mind fail. So that is a fear zone. Everything outside is a fear zone. In fact, one of my favourite quotes, when I heard it via Jack Canfield, I think the original was a guy called George Adair, and that is, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Let me say that again. Everything we want is on the other side of fear. And it's so true, I think, because that fear zone becomes a killing zone. It kills your dreams, it kills your goals. Okay, now, let's take a few things that maybe people are comfortable doing and not doing. So someone might be very, very comfortable going out, meeting people, being able to go in a big group and have a conversation, speaking up. It could be simple little things like that. Or it could be going for a new job, resigning from your existing job, which is often hard for a lot of us. It could be jumping out of a plane, parachute, skydive. It could be running a marathon. The bigger goals. So what you and I, I might find quite comfortable walking around here and talking to you guys and getting on stage and talking. I did at one time, and actually it's probably something to talk about next week. But for others, public speaking is something there's no way they're going to do. So that will be in their fear zone. It's not something everyone wants to do, by the way. So I want you to think about your comfort zone, okay? I want you to think about, are there things you want to do outside that? What do you want to take on? Okay, let me just look at my notes again and make sure I'm not missing anything out here. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the bit I just want to go back to is that fear zone that's become the killing zone is when you achieve that goal, when you achieve what you maybe been wanting to do for years, maybe, when you actually successfully achieve it, the feeling you get is like no other. And some of you on here will be looking at it going, yeah, you've done that. Maybe others haven't. But for me, when you actually achieve something that you thought you possibly couldn't do, or for whatever reason didn't take on, when you actually achieve it, the feeling is unbelievable. The confidence you get. And the thing is, it's like a knock-on effect. You take on that big goal, whatever that be, and like I say, it's different for everyone else. A big goal, a big achievement for someone might be standing up to their boss. Might be simple as that. And for someone else, it might be jumping out of a plane. It might be changing their job. It could be changing country. But when you take it on and you achieve it, the feeling you get is unbelievable. The confidence you get is fantastic. And what happens is, you take on that goal, guess what? It's like the chest comes out. And you think, wow, I've just done something I thought I couldn't do. What can I do next? And then you take on another goal. It's like a knock-on effect. It's getting over that first hurdle to take on maybe the first goal of yours. Once you achieve it, the feeling's unbelievable. And there is without doubt a knock-on effect. You know, it's a beautiful feeling, and it affects the whole of your life. So it might be you do one thing in your personal life, but guess what? It's going to really improve maybe your work life and vice versa. So I want you to think about maybe your comfort zone. How big is it? What do you find comfortable and what don't you find comfortable? Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, right now, what is in your life? Is there a goal that you're looking to achieve? An aim of some sort that you really want to take on, but for whatever reason, you're not taking it on. That might be the fear of failure, as I said earlier on. It might be what other people are going to think of you if you don't do it. And we all know it's the voices in the head. We all have them. I've mentioned it on here before when I talked about mental health. I get them all the time. Right? I'm probably one of the worst. I'm sure I've got more than one voice because it's always nattering. The difference is, since I got involved in personal development 10, 12 years ago, I now know how to deal with those voices. I still get those voices, and I'm not always successful, by the way, but we all get them. I know that. So often, most of the time, it's going to be those voices in your head that are telling you you can't do it for whatever reason, because whatever we tell ourselves, that's what happens. That's who we are. Whoever we tell we are, we are. It's those voices that tell us. So what I want to ask you is, I want you to think about, is there something in your life right now? And I would think, especially in these times that are tough, especially with jobs, you know, there might be things you want to do, but you're scared of doing them. And when it's tougher, we find it harder, but I think it's the best time to do it. How many times have we heard someone say, got made redundant, it allowed me to start into a business I've always wanted to do, and now I wish I'd done it 10 years ago. I've heard that so many times because we're forced into it, right? When we have to do it, it works. And how many of you right now are thinking possibly changing career or doing something different, but thinking, I can't do it, I'm worried, I'm scared, and those voices tell not to do it. And what I want you to do is ask yourself, what is it? And then I want to ask you two other things. And close your eyes when you do that and go, okay, if you were to achieve this big goal or whatever it is, how is that going to make you feel? And how is your life changing because of it? What does your life look like in a couple of years because of what you've just achieved? Really think about that. And I also want you to ask yourself, close your eyes and go, well, what happens if you don't take it on? What happens if you don't achieve it, you don't try it, and your life is still the same in a couple of years? How's that going to feel? And there's a big difference between the two. And what, just crossing a little road here, and what I'd like you to do, if you can, if any of you out there do decide to take on a big goal or whatever it is you've got right now that you really want to do, if you take it on and you achieve it, whatever it is, whether it's learning another language, whether it's leaving your job, whether it's speaking up against your boss or whoever, I'd love you to share it and let me know how you feel. Because trust me, it's the most amazing feeling. And next week I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I've done and achieved and the difference it's made to me. And also I'm going to be talking about how important it is as a parent who's always hopefully encouraging their kids to take on more but aren't doing it themselves. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Check out your comfort zone, see if there's something you want to achieve, go for it. I'd love to know if you go for it and achieve it. Have a great week. I will do this next week. I won't wait another, God, get my words out now. I won't wait another 3 weeks to do it. I'll do it next week so we don't forget what I was talking about today. Have a great week and speak to you soon. Bye.